How festive is my big red bowl? Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Happy day 2 of Vlogmas. Today has been a little crazy. You'll see it tomorrow when I upload my first weekly vlog, just kind of how crazy today was. But I am finally getting in my kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen. And we are launching our first Sunday that is part of Vlogmas, and it is going to be called Sweet Tooth Sunday. Now, I don't know if it's the same for you, but baking is one of the things that I love the most during the holidays. I have so many amazing memories of baking with my grandmother, my godmother, and my mom, and I love to bake. I always have. I think it's because it's so technical. My math brain just really likes it. I knew I wanted to include some sort of holiday baking in my Vlogmas series. So I figured Sweet Tooth Sunday would be perfect. So each Sunday during Vlogmas, I will be here in my kitchen baking something delicious, although I might do drinks on one of the days. So Sweet Tooth could be baking goods or drinks. We'll see. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. If you guys would be excited about some holiday drinks, alcoholic and non-alcoholic, or if you would rather me just stick with the baked goods. So for the very first one, I pretty much knew I wanted to do my favorite cookie. And for whatever reason, we've always made it around the holidays, although there's nothing really holiday-y about it, like nothing special that makes it a holiday cookie. But I was thinking, how could I put a twist on it? Because me just coming in here and baking my one type of my favorite cookie, that's not all that exciting. Like, you're not gonna get a whole lot out of it. So I thought it would be fun to do a store-bought versus homemade competition. So my favorite holiday cookie is a peanut butter blossom. And if you don't know what that is, you basically make a peanut butter cookie and then you put a Hershey's Kiss in the middle of it. So it's like peanut butter chocolate. It's basically if like a Reese's peanut butter cup was made into a cookie. They're just delicious. I love peanut butter and chocolate together. I love both of them separately too, but I also love them together. So I thought I would do it 2 ways. The way that we usually do it at home, because we have to make a ton of these because our family goes through them like that. When I'm home for the holidays, I'm at my mom's, and so there are 8 of us, 9 of us now, including Sam, and we go through these cookies so quickly. So we make it the store-bought way. So we take a store-bought peanut butter, one of these. I don't know if my mom buys this brand or she buys whatever they have at Target or Meijer or wherever she's going holiday grocery shopping. And we'll buy these, and you still do need oil, water, and eggs. So it's like homemade, but it's not homemade. So you cook the peanut butter cookies and you put the Hershey Kisses in them. And this is, you still have to add a couple things, but it's way faster. Then the other option is a actual recipe. So this one got a little banged up because it also makeshifted as my grocery list. But this is where I'm making it with flour and baking soda and peanut butter and sugar and all of the things, and actually making it from scratch. And we're gonna see if A, can you tell the difference, and B, which one's better, or is one better, or are they just the same? I'm not gonna be the taste tester because that's not really all that fair, because I will know which one is which. So we are going to take our handy dandy taste tester and use him. Sam is going to blind test the 2 different cookies and see if he can tell which one's which, tell me which one he thinks is better, or are they both just delicious? So I don't have a big enough oven to do them at the same time. Well, because I want them to be fair, right? I want them to be cooked the exact same amount of time, although, do they say they take the same amount of time? Let's see. First, we should probably also preheat the oven. Okay, 375. This one says 6 to 8 minutes, and this one says 8 to 10 minutes. Interesting. Are they same size cookie? This one says to roll into 1-inch balls, and this one says to roll into 1-inch balls. So maybe not. I was thinking maybe I could do a batch of both and then put them on the same tray, but they might need different amounts of time to cook because they're a different recipe. So that's not what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the homemade ones first because that one's gonna take a little bit more time. Then stick those in the oven, and while they're baking in the oven, then we will do this, mix the store-bought batter together, and then we'll stick those in the oven. We'll let them both cool, and then put Sam to the test. So I picked this recipe just off the internet. Nothing crazy. I Googled peanut butter blossoms. Like, we probably made them from scratch at some point, but it's been a really long time. So let's get this going. So it always has you do this where you mix the dry ingredients together in another bowl and set aside. I am not about to do all those dishes. So we're just gonna do the wet ingredients in the big bowl, and then we're gonna add all of the dry ingredients as they go. Oh, the butter. I forgot to let the butter soften. Oh, I hate sticking my butter in the microwave, but to be honest, I'm already filming this video way later than planned, so we're just gonna have to make do. Okay, so I just took my stick of butter and I nuked it for 30 seconds, so it's probably a little softer than they intended, but it's okay. It'll be fine. Okay, so we need the butter, the peanut butter. So this is just creamy peanut butter, creamy unsalted from Trader Joe's. It's actually brand new because we use like the natural peanut butter from Costco. That's always like the oil's not mixed in and whatever. So I just decided to get a new peanut butter for this. Although this one, the oil kind of needs to be mixed in too. I think I'm gonna do the peanut butter last because we also need a 1/2 cup of sugar. And I don't want the 1/2 cup thing to be covered in peanut butter when I need to dip it in the sugar. I also had to buy a new sugar because ours, I wasn't sure if there was going to be enough. I can't get it open because my hands are all peanut buttery. Oh, scissors, hold on. Also, fun fact, I used to sell Cutco. That's like one of those random fun facts about me. So I have a lot of Cutco in my kitchen, and the Cutco scissors are like thebomb.com. I feel like you can't even see me trying to struggle and open this sugar right now. Did I not cut it enough? What the heck? Okay, there we go. So a 1/2 cup of sugar. This is actually a 1/4 cup thing. I used my 1/2 cup thing for something else recently. It's dirty. I mean, I could wash it, but I think I'll be fine. Okay, 1/2 cup of sugar. And then the light brown sugar, which is also a 1/2 cup. Okay, now we can do the peanut butter since I've already used up this 1/4 cup. Although I think I'm gonna need it for the flour. So I might just have to pause filming and wash it. Okay, now I'm supposed to add the egg, the milk, and the vanilla. So it calls for 1 egg. Oh, I am so bad, y'all, at getting the shell. But have you ever heard the trick to then use the shell to get the shell? Of course, now the yolk is like on top of it. Come here, little shell. Okay, and then we need a tablespoon of milk. And a teaspoon of vanilla. This is also new. I think we have vanilla, but I could not find it to save my life. So new vanilla it is. That's kind of a lot. Okay, now we blend, we beat again. Okay, now we have to add the dry stuff, and they do say to mix the dry stuff together first. I'm just not doing that. So we need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, which everyone can explain this to me for as long as I live, and I'll never understand why you put salt in sweet things. And then a whole teaspoon of baking soda. I can't seem to get the lid off of my baking soda thing. So we're just gonna, I'm gonna do this over the sink to try and get this full. 1, 2. Okay, and now we can start adding in some of the flour. So it's 1 3/4 cups of flour. It's really an interesting amount. So let me go ahead. I'll do the 1/2 cup or the whole cup first. That'll be the easiest because that one is clean. What's not clean is the 1/4 cup. So I'm gonna have to wash that. So there's a whole cup of flour, and it says to do it gradually. So let's go ahead and mix in that cup. Okay, so we need 3 of these 1/4 cup ones. Guess I didn't dry it all the way. 1, 2, 3. Ah, I just realized I never preheated the oven. Now, to be honest, when we get to this point, let me take my watch off. It's becoming so doughy that and cookie dough is not like cake batter, right? Like it's thicker. And so at this point, I pretty much just use my hands and I get the flour off of the edges, mix it in. This is the same you'll see with the store-bought stuff too at this point, pretty much. Now, the recipe does say if it is too soft, to refrigerate it for a little bit, but you know what? It feels kind of okay, and I don't really want to take the time to refrigerate it. Okay, there we go. We have our dough. So one of the other keys to this recipe that is true for both the homemade and the store-bought, we're going to do it in both of them, is where you roll the cookie in sugar before you put it on on the pan. So like I'm gonna roll these little 1-inch balls, and then I'm gonna roll it in the sugar so that it's coated in sugar, and then I'm gonna put it on the pan. And I already coated the pan in cooking spray. Okay, and now they are going in the oven. They're kind of sliding around a smidge. Let's see if we can get that one back. Okay, good. Alrighty, now to set the timer. So one thing I'm gonna do quick before I get started on the store-bought dough is unwrap the Hershey Kisses, because it is imperative that you put these in the cookies as soon as they are out of the oven, like right away. And so I wanna make sure that I have enough unwrapped for this batch that I just put in the oven. So I think there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cookies on there. I feel like I did not make them as small as I was supposed to, because look how much batter. I mean, there's still a lot of batter left, but like they said it was gonna make 60 cookies. I don't think so. And I do still have a lot of batter left, but instead of cooking them tonight, I think I'm just gonna stick that batter in the fridge and make them a day later this week. Mostly because I don't want us to have a bazillion cookies. And I think it'll just be, I'm just gonna bring them into work another day this week. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is definitely the most tedious part, and I almost asked Sam to do it, but I figured while I was here, I would just get it done. You can hear Charlie meowing in the background. That's because Sam is in the bedroom with the door shut. She is not happy that she is being shut out of anything, even though like all of her things, food, litter box, everything is on this side of the door. It's not like there's something she needs over there. Her window, I guess, from that side. Okay, there are 13 Hershey Kisses ready to go for the cookies that are in the oven. So now let's get this guy in a Ziploc bag, because I only have one drying bowl, so I have to clean this bowl if I'm gonna use it again. Okay, the 6-minute timer went off. They are not even close to being done, but like I said, I think I made them a little bit bigger than necessary. So I'm gonna go and pop them back in, set the timer for 2 more minutes, and then we'll check on them. Okay, I mean, this may be operator error, but they're definitely like thicker than the ones that I normally make with my mom, and they're kind of crispy on the bottom. So that was sort of a fail. It seems like, are they all that way? Yeah. So he may pick the store-bought just because I epically failed at these. I don't know. I'm not sure. They're definitely going to look different, though. That's going to be really interesting. I feel like I need to taste test one. Definitely burned on the bottom. They still taste amazing, though. Wow. Yeah, maybe I made them too thick. And so in order to get through and cook the whole cookie, I had to get the bottom crispy. Or, I mean, it could be a homemade recipe. Maybe store-bought is better. Time to go figure it out. Okay, so time to start the store-bought one, and this is really interesting. So it doesn't say to like beat and use a beater together. It says to stir. So that would, I guess that makes sense because we're not beating as many ingredients. Like we're just doing, what is my problem? Oh, this is not a zipper leaking. You actually need to just, there we go. Because all we're mixing in with this one is 3 tablespoons of oil. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1 tablespoon of water, 1, and then 1 egg. Let's see if I can keep the shell out of this one. Beautiful. Okay, now it says to stir. I actually don't have, this is when I wish I had one of those like wooden stir things that my mom has. I'm just gonna use this spoon. And then similar to the store-bought ones, now that we're kind of towards the end here, I'm just going to use my hands. Now this dough is a lot stickier than that other dough was. I don't know if that's gonna make a difference, but it is. It's a lot stickier. Okay, let me go get the cookie sheet. Well, needless to say, the store-bought was much faster. So if you're talking about convenience, the store-bought is definitely the way to go. Now, in terms of price, it sort of depends on if you have the ingredients on hand, right? So I actually needed to restock up on a handful of things. Like I had to buy sugar and I had to buy vanilla and I needed different kind of peanut butter. But if you have all those ingredients at home, then really the only thing you might need to go out and buy are the Hershey Kisses, but you're gonna have to buy those for either one, like that doesn't matter. So from a cost perspective, it really depends. I mean, if you're a baker and you have all the ingredients, then the from scratch one is going to be a lot cheaper because most of the ingredients are things that you probably already have in your house. Well, if you aren't a baker and you have to buy all of those things like flour and sugar and baking soda and vanilla and all that stuff, well, that's definitely going to be more expensive and you're probably much better off going with the store-bought. So it kind of depends. And now the store-bought, the package was all of like $4 maybe. So even if you have all the ingredients, is the $4 worth your time? Now, unless we find out that they taste drastically better, although they're burnt on the bottom, so I'm not really sure how he's gonna pick the homemade. And I'm trying to make the store-bought ones the same size because I do think one of the problems was I made them too big, and so trying to get them to cook all the way through without burning on the bottom is proving to be a little difficult, but they should be the same. Like it should be the same for both of them, right? Because I'm trying to make them the same size so that if it was a problem for the homemade ones, it should be a problem for the store-bought ones too. Okay, same as before, I'm gonna go ahead and unwrap these Hershey Kisses so that they will be ready to go when those get out. I tried to do it so quick with the homemade ones that I just didn't even film the Hershey Kisses because I just was trying to be fast because it is so much easier to do it when they're warm and you can squish the kiss down in there. You let them cool even remotely and all of a sudden it's not the same cookie. So I tried to do it quickly. So I'm gonna put this dough back in the fridge as well in a Ziploc. Now I wonder if after they sat in the fridge for a day or two and then I go to make them, if I'm gonna be able to even tell the difference between the two. That'll be an interesting test. Maybe I will follow up on just one of my weekly vlogs with how that goes if I do end up, I will end up baking it. I'm not gonna waste the dough. But I'm trying to be really good about my eating, and having cookies in the house is, especially having my favorite cookies in the house is definitely not helping. Here are the store-bought ones after 6 minutes. Also not done, but look how much like whiter they are, not like broken up like the homemade ones. Maybe some expert baker can tell me why that is. So these did start to break up as they've kind of finished cooking. And the bottoms are, let me see if I can hold the camera and show you the bottom because it's kind of, oh, this isn't really working. It's like darker brown. It's definitely not burnt though. I need to let these cool though. I want to let them cool the same way, the same amount of time so that he really doesn't have anything to like discrepancy in terms of how they were made. Although clearly something was different because these are not burnt on the bottom. And they cooked more out instead of just up like the other ones. And again, I don't know why that is. I like to bake and I usually am pretty good at baking and not burning stuff, but I'm not an expert on the science behind it and why certain things go a certain way. Here's a better view of the bottom of the store-bought one. So still a little like cooked, but not quite burnt like the other ones, but let's taste this one. I don't think I can tell the difference. They're both delicious, but really, they kind of taste the same. Okay, we are here with the official taste tester.
Hello there.
And you know which one is which. He has no idea. Obviously, you can tell there's a difference in the way that they look, right? Which one looks more appetizing?
I'll be completely frank with you. They both look great.
They both look great. Okay, they both look delicious. All right, great. And the apartment smells amazing, by the way. Like, you can't even tell.
It smells like peanut butter.
It smells like peanut butter. All right, so pick one to start with.
Ooh.
And you don't have to eat the whole thing if you don't want before you try the other one.
Well, the Hershey tastes like a Hershey.
Okay, this is not about the Hershey Kiss, Sam. This is about the cookie.
Alright. So clearly the smaller one.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna try the large one, then I'll be able to make the comparisons, right? Yeah.
Alright.
Wow, that's a huge difference.
Really? I couldn't tell the difference at all. What's the difference?
No, it could be. Maybe it's not homogenous. You know what I'm saying? That maybe.
Yeah, but they're close enough. So what do you notice the difference?
This is a little more richer. The peanut butter and the larger cookies are
Okay.
more rich.
Okay.
I would think that if it was store bought, it would purposely be more sugary or purposely be more richer.
That's fair.
So I feel like this is actually richer than this.
So you think the store-bought one is the bigger one?
I think the store-bought one's the bigger one.
Because it's richer in peanut butter and sweetness.
Yes.
You're right.
Yes! Woo!
But now, do you think one of them is better than the other? Now, I know the homemade one is a little crispy on the bottom.
I didn't even notice until now.
Hey, that's good. I mean, I'm not going to be offended if, like, you think the store-bought one is better than the homemade one. But I'm just curious if you think that one is innately better than the other. I like how you describe the difference.
I would say the store one
is better?
Yeah, it's better.
Wow. All right, Sam just brought up a good point. I did use the Trader Joe's peanut butter in the homemade ones, and he thinks that if I had used a more, let's be real, artificial peanut butter.
Like a Jiffy's or a Peter Pan.
Yeah, it probably would have been sweeter and like a little bit closer to the store-bought. So note to self, if you are really wanting to make the homemade ones, maybe you're using a special kind of gluten-free flour, or maybe you know, for whatever reason, if you want to make them homemade, don't use like a natural peanut butter like the Trader Joe's or the Costco one. Like, use a artificial peanut butter. Although I guess if you're trying to be good and make like gluten-free cookies, you don't want to use artificial peanut butter. There you have it. The store-bought one just wins. You saw how much faster it was, and in reality, it's not that much more expensive, if at all expensive. Even if you have every single ingredient for the homemade ones, it's still only like $5.
I get all these cookies. It's great.
Although are you going to work or rehearsal tomorrow?
Rehearsal?
Well, I might make you take them with you so that they're not all in our house. I might make you take cookies.
Acapella.
It's acapella rehearsal. This video will be up, actually. So if you live in New York, I posted about it on my Instagram. If you live in New York, Sam is putting on a show called Broadway Goes Acapella. It is on December 10th, and it'll definitely be featured in a vlog. But go check it out. I'll link it below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos usually every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and every day during December for Vlogmas. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Vlogmas. So then you put Oh, dropping kisses. Charlie.
No, Charlie, these are mine.
As Sam still chows down on the cookies. If you liked this video, oh, the Amazon boxes behind me are not cute.